Hey, hey, welcome to another episode of That's Thing 2 Overture. It is episode 35, and it is Friday the 15th?
Or Thursday the
Thursday the
14th.
14th?
Yeah, it just depends whenever. Depends how the
Not
updates
this
go.
time, Jason.
Nope. Is that Simpsons? People start posting that thing. That Thursday the 12th or whatever. Post it.
Yeah.
Because
Yo,
it's
we
so
got a Friday
funny.
the 13th next month in October, so,
That's actually pretty good. Alright,
Yep.
Homestuck talk. Me and Drew, we've been reading
Homestuck talk.
Homestuck. Because Nolan's
I
not
think Nolan
here.
too, but he's not here yet.
No. Let's talk about Homestuck. Drew, how how well do you think Homestuck holds up? So where are you at in it currently?
Uh, I've just finished Act 2.
I'm in Act
Um,
4.
it fine. I don't know. It's I know it doesn't get better until like Act 3 and into Act 4, but I've also just been like cruising the wiki and just reading stuff too and being like, "Oh yeah. Oh yeah."
Oh, like it's I really enjoyed the first bits of it. I thought like I will admit like I think it starts like a little slow, but I still enjoyed like the kind of MS Paint adventure because it's like okay, Homestuck. Like I enjoyed the idea, and you can really see at the beginning where it was far more based on user input, and as the thing
Yeah.
goes on, the user input goes away. Because like a lot of this,
So
oh, you can.
Hussey has said the last user input is
I don't know. You cut out there,
the alchemizer or whatever. Like that's the last user input.
and you could,
And
to me, you could tell because
a
of like,
news post that goes there's a news post that goes with it of like, hey, this is gonna be the last like input until 413. We just got some plot to clip through, and then it never came back.
yep. Well, it's also because of like the amount of people doing it. Like,
Uh-huh.
like it was like what I to me, it's kind of like the Silodex stuff, which I think is annoying, but it makes sense if you look at it from the terms of this is the idea of okay, you finally got to enter your command into Homestuck, and uh-oh, you didn't recognize how the Silodex works, so you wasted your turn.
Yeah.
Like in that context, it makes a lot of sense as of like a meta
Uh-huh.
level troll on the audience, or like a gag
Yeah.
of like, oh, you thought you were just gonna pick up the cake, well now you ejected the cell phone, idiot, you messed
Yep.
up.
And like, so he's also commented on the fact that so many suggestions are made
Yeah, he just picked the best one.
that he just gets to pick the one he wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, because there's just like there's gonna be thousands of arrow permutations, so he just picks the one he thinks is the funniest or the best one, and that's just what he did.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's really picking one. It's like I already know what I wanted to do anyway, and someone has said it, so I just okay, cool. I'm just doing what I was gonna do anyway.
Yeah,
And
it
like then it also there still is fans suggestion on stuff because it's still just
I don't know. You're kind of
will take fan theory. Oh, am I breaking up a little bit?
little bit, but it's people used to it. Whatever.
Okay, that's fine. That's how they know it's me and not you.
Yeah, that's the difference.
But so then he
Um,
and put those into the story.
oh yeah, there's a lot of like yeah, like a lot of jokes and a lot of things like make it into it, and it gets more meta
Yeah,
as the comic goes on, which is like
exactly.
all right. So
Work
like
bad.
I pulled up my document that I made only for Act One because I remember Nolan was saying when is this supposed to get funny. So I put down every time I
Did
laughed in
you laugh?
Homestuck for Act One or
I
chuckled.
don't think I did. I think the only thing I've really laughed at was rereading Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff.
See, because the first time I laughed is apparently on page 16 when it just says the desk it beckons, and when someone told John to like poop on his desk or whatever,
Yeah.
and I thought that was really funny. I also thought it was really funny when Dave was talking about how the fat kid in Little Monsters drank the pee and then instantly knew what it was. And I was like, that's funny. But anyway,
Can you hear me?
yes, now I can.
Okay. Okay. Good. Um. So I don't think I really get. I am not even gonna say engrossed.
That's okay.
I
No.
don't invested. I don't think I even get like really invested in Homestuck until the trolls show up.
So like the trolls, I don't think we even see a picture of Carcat until like it's like end
The
of act.
end of
Yeah, it's
intermission.
the end of the Midnight Crew. That's when you start
Yeah,
to see Carcat because it's basically Spade Slick starts to talk to him like the mayor talks to John.
yeah, and it's also he recognizes him, so he's
Yeah.
like already been doing this
Yeah,
stuff.
there's like one
Um,
or two logs earlier, like with Jade. I think Carcat talks to Jade in one of them, like
okay,
earlier. And
I haven't married, but I
okay,
think whenever I get to the Midnight Crew, I think that's also when I get more invested.
well, the Midnight Crew is really good. Like
Yeah,
like the Midnight Crew, if you compare it in the raw MS Paint adventure compared to what you've seen before, is like astounding. It is exactly that like problem sleuth of like vagueness, but like convoluted, incredibly convoluted, but it does all work together. Like where you get the crap where like the guy can see what's happening in the past and then the other guy can see what's happening in the future
yeah.
and they're all like doing shenanigans and it's like how are you going to kill all these stupid time wasting people? It's great. I love it. uh I think one of the things I really enjoyed about Homestuck, so part of it is it doesn't work if you're reading it on the website, and I'm not going to download the whole thing where it actually plays the flashes like as flash stuff because it's not.
Yeah, I've just been reading it on my phone, so like I'm definitely I was hoping there was just going to be an app for it, and there is not an app for it.
Yeah, like there are like, oh, if you want to download the thing, but it's I need to express the point that the amazingness of you're reading this little comic and then it cuts to a thing where now you're clicking on the screen and you're interacting with it like you've been reading it. So it's like
Uh-huh.
that section early on where like John goes to the world and you get to click around his house and move him around. Even though it's very kind of limited, the idea it's like, oh, you've been reading the comic, now you're both kind of in it. And I thought like that's mind-blowing and I've never
Now
seen
you're
that done.
playing the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and that happens a couple times, several times where it'll be
Yeah.
like here, like specifically when he goes to John goes to the planet and you're walking around. There's a couple times like the trolls do some stuff like that too, but it's
Yeah.
in like those times make it feel wild. Like the videos are also was also kind of shocking because basically the music is still good. I still like Homestuck music because it's like Toby Fox and crew, and I like Undertale music, so yeah, it's gonna be good.
So to both of those things that you just said, they're both very meh to me. Like I kind of hate the walking around because it just feels super time wasty, and like I don't think it really adds anything to it. Um, and that said, the alternative now where it's just like clicking through and it
Oh, they're
is even like
terrible.
worse.
Oh, it's like I skip. I like they're like, do you want to watch like the panel versions of these? I'm like, no, I just skip it. I just skip them,
Yeah.
and I think it really loses
Uh,
something. It also I
Yeah.
think I think one of the elements of Homestuck that I postulate is that I think your enjoyment of it is how much if Spurb was real. Oh, also, are you a Spurb or a suburb?
I
What
say suburb.
I say Spurb. That's interesting.
I might shorten the S a little. It might be more like suburb
Okay, that's
instead
what I
of
mean. Like it's
suburb.
suburb or spurb. Like it's not suburb,
Yeah.
like a sub, but you know what I mean. Okay.
Yeah, suburb.
Yeah, I say spurb. But like the idea,
Yeah.
it's like I think the enjoyment similar to the isekai is would you take that game? Would you play it? And now obviously knowing what we know because we've read this stupid thing where basically if Spurb or Spurb whatever, if that game exists, you have to play it because the world's already over because someone else will play it.
Well, okay, so that's the thing about it is if that game was real, you already have played it or died.
Yeah, so like you're
Like
screwed. You're
like you
boned.
don't actually have a choice.
No. There's a lot of like you are like once that thing arrives, you're playing it. That's how destiny works kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I think that's one of those where it's like I would be playing it just because you're playing it.
Oh, I would play it like hard, like way into it.
I know, so it's one of those of like, okay, well, I guess I'm playing it so I can be Kevin's server
Yeah, you got to
client.
do it. You got to get in there. We got to get our internet crew in there. All my internet pals. I'm making it happen. But yeah, I like it. I also agree stealing from like cuz I've been watching like people's like video thoughts on Homestuck.
Yeah.
The Sarah Z one's very interesting because you find out that Andrew Hussey kind of sucks. Not being like as a comic man, I think he's pretty good, but as like a businessman slash boss, he is not good at all. Like he is not running a company and kind of a d bag in that kind of sense. Where
Yeah.
where it was
Keep going.
like yes, the odd gentleman people stole his money, but he also was like, as you can tell by like his writing style, like not a very good product manager either. So like all of the fault is not on them. It's also some of it's on Hussey by like not putting like for himself he can like he'll be like, yeah, I don't really have a plan, but when you're trying to get a team of people to do something, just kind of going, well, whatever I think of at the time falls apart miserably.
Yeah.
So it's not entire, and then there's like shenanigans and crap, but
He is not without. He allowed the situation to happen
yeah,
the way it
it's not,
unfortunately did.
yeah, it's not all hit. It's basically it's not all Hussey. It's
Yeah.
I mean it's not all like the people, but
Yeah.
they are part of it.
Like he is not the
He is not innocent.
uh
He is not a pure
yeah,
innocent
he
snow.
should have actually been paying attention to the stuff
Yeah, like there's a lot
and
of
on top of it.
yeah, it's a lot of like you are the artist. You need this is one of the rare scenarios where you actually need like a manager or a boss man that comes in and does like the boring boss man stuff that is literally it's vital, but it's also like usually that guy kind of sucks. But if you get a good one, it could work magic.
Or you just keep that system maintained so it can't grow unwieldy.
Which is one of I would say
You
the
need,
main
you need one
issues.
boss man, not a half dozen boss men
Yeah.
each managing each other.
Speaking of unwieldy, I think that is one of the severe issues that Homestuck will happen because right now where I'm at, where it's pre-Troll's been formally introduced, I think the comic does an incredibly good job of like cliffhangers and teasers because you have like you start with John and then you see his friends and then you gradually see like where they live and what they're up to, and that makes you want to see like where the other two are doing, and then once John gets into the world you're like, man, I want to see what the other guys are up to. I want to see what their world looks like. And then like the Dave bro fight is teased several times where you see him like walking up like he that fight doesn't happen until like chapter part 3.
Yeah, I know.
But
It
every
takes so long to get to it.
but you want it every time. You're like, oh
Yep.
man, finally we're doing it. And then we're like, oh, we're cutting to Rose. But now Rose is going into like the basement and you're starting to deal with, and you're like, oh, well, what's up? And then we cut back to John as he's like fighting the ogres. And you're like, oh, okay. And it's really good. Also,
It's also the Dave and Bro inversion is a nice twist on like he thinks the puppets are cool, and then he steadily comes to hate them as opposed to just being like all this lame garbage.
yeah. There's like a weird thing where like eventually it goes where like it's revealed Dave hates his brother and they kind of make it that Bro was like abusive and terrible, which he kind of
Yeah.
is, but I always got
Yeah.
the, at least in my reading of Homestuck, I always got the idea that Bro was trying to do the best he could as like raising a kid while being like kind of a shitty kid himself.
So yeah, I took it as like all the parents know about the game or whatever. Like
Oh yeah.
there's the like they know something about it. So I've always read it as like, yeah, bro is awful and shitty to Dave, but it's to prepare him for this game.
Yeah, because he needs to be fast. He needs to be able to fight. To me, it's my issue is that several times, like when Bro cuts the meteor or whatever, and I feel like
Yeah.
if he really was shitty, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
There's
And
several
also like
things he does with
going
like,
to fight Jack.
oh yeah, which is still like the coolest. One of my favorite parts of that entire comic is after Jack becomes Jack Nor or whatever and is killing people, and Bro just fights him. And he holds his on until he gets Beck powers, who's like
Yep.
broken, but it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
like
yeah, I was like I don't it's also like Dave never seems that like messed up. It's like, oh, he got beat up, but like he's not like he just immediately gets back up and there's no lasting damage. So
no,
I don't know.
I get because that's where apparently it goes. Because I've watched videos of people that got further than me. Apparently Vriska has so much crap, and I think that's a bad idea. I don't like that.
Yep. I think I don't know if it's one of those classic internet moves of Andrew Hussey decided his characters needed depth, but that's what feels like happened. It's like, oh, these characters, despite 8,000 pages of content, are actually kind of flat.
I think
And he's just, or what?
I do want to have one of my complaints on like a video. I don't remember the exact video, but he was talking where he thought it was weird how Hussey was like trying to marry Vriska. And I'm like, that guy doesn't remember in Hussey's Tumblr blog where he was talking, where people kept asking him about Vriska. And then Hussey said, no, I love Vriska. She's so great. And then people kept saying that Vriska's fat and he kept going into it. And it was like this weird, stupid joke that just made it into the comic where like Hussey's like,
Yep.
yes, I love Vriska. She's so great. And I thought that was really funny, and it always makes me chuckle, but I'm like, that's the whole point of that is like, no, that's a stupid joke. That's like only
Yep.
funny to him.
There's a lot of those in Homestuck.
There's a
but
lot of jokes for no one, which I love jokes for no one. Where you see it, it's like, this is like, I don't even get it.
Yep.
But yeah, I still like it. I still feel like it's scratching a weird itch for me. Like there's like it's wild that I have not seen good Homestuck or someone like I think people have tried it. But like it feels like there is a need, I guess Undertale took it at that kind of tone. And there's been like Undertale offs or like Undertale kind of spin-offs, but like I haven't seen like a Homestuck of like, hey, we're just gonna do this stupid comic and let it go. Maybe
So, Kevin, you kind of have seen it. What if I told you the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
well, that's just like comics though.
Yeah, but no, think about it. And like they even have like the crappy Disney Plus TV shows are like your intermissions.
Okay. I don't like it.
Like,
I don't like what you're saying, but I understand where you're going.
yeah, there's a so where you've been watching videos about Homestuck, I'm still just listening to the podcast called Homestuck Built This World, and they keep saying stuff about how like, yeah, just think about like how media has now since gone and it's just doing what Homestuck did. Like that's just what the media environment we live in is now, just Homestuck.
Yeah.
That that should be your little podcast before bed, Kevin. It's good.
Oh, I looked at it. I listened to one of them where he was like talking about it, and then I'm like, that's not
Yeah.
the one. I don't want the summary of it. I want the discussion of what they read.
Oh no, you gotta. So just start with
Because I saw like a
Uh,
YouTube that was 5 hours long of them just talking, but then they just started talking about like each chapter and not like what's going on
I
in the
don't.
chapter.
So I don't know. It's on my podcast app, so I don't know if there's YouTube videos or what
I
for it.
see. Well, I think they did like a super cup of just the thing. Do they actually
Uh,
talk about like what they're
yeah,
reading?
like
Okay.
yeah, you gotta go. You gotta do
Oh,
the
so you got to
actual
listen to the actual
podcast.
thing. I'm seeing this
Yeah,
now. It's like range
yeah,
touch or what? Okay, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
never
yeah. Rain
mind.
touch,
I
and
think I think
it's
I
also
picked the wrong video where they just cut the
uh
discussion. It cut the summary, and they just stitched all the summaries together, but removed the discussion. Because I'm like, no, I want to hear the discussion.
yep. That's the good stuff.
Okay, well now
Um,
now I've fixed. I
it
will rectify
it's
that.
also very good. There's 13 episodes, but each episode is broken across multiple parts.
Yep, just that's what
So
Homestuck
it's like,
is.
yep. So it's episode one, I think, has like 3 parts, and each part is like 2 hours long.
Good. Okay, yeah, so I need to, yeah, so that's like what I'm looking for. I'm looking
Yep.
for people talking about what I've read. I don't need to see like
I
a
think
summary of what I because I just read it.
so. The first episode, the first part of the first episode, I should say,
Yeah.
is really just establishing the premise.
Okay. Now
So
I
you
was
can kind of just you
they
can kind of
talk
just jump to
in
the
the
second one.
yes, like in the big like 5 hour summary, they did that where they talked about like their thoughts and feelings about like what it is and what's going on. I'm like, okay, if this is just it for 5 hours, I'm down. But then they just
Yeah,
get this raw summary. I'm like, I don't care about summary. I need to see
yeah,
like I need to see like what you're talking about it. But I
yep.
did because that was them that I listened to they put the words in my mouth or well they put the words to the feelings I have where Hussey has such good character like identity
Uh-huh.
because they like every character not just how they but like how they type you're like I instantly know what this person is about and how they deal with things like like maybe not in terms of like depth, but in terms of like John, Dave, Rose, and Jade, like all
Yeah.
of them, you're like very well defined of like how they act, their personality and stuff, and I think it's great. Like he's very good at that. I think a lot of the trolls do that too. I just think there's too many of
Hmm.
them. Like that's their problem is that Homestuck like it I okay, so here's also what I'm thinking.
Hussey needs an editor.
Do let
Like,
me let
but I
me
also get like that's the joke. Like that's the Hussey is there is no editor
and
and
it
literally
just compounds and that's like part
yeah,
of the
and it
story and it just
yeah, and like it's not just Homestuck compounding, it's everything he's done before Homestuck gets thrown
in
into Homestuck,
yeah that
and then a self-referential meta version of Homestuck gets thrown in too for good measure.
yeah, like Homestuck has like 4 Homestucks in it.
Yep.
There is a bit possibly more. At least
Yep.
4, maybe more. But it's
So
just
let's see. We got both kids,
yeah.
both trolls,
Yeah.
the Caliborn
Yeah,
one.
the homo suck or whatever.
That's 5. That's 6. No, I meant the actual Calliope Caliborn.
No, okay, that's 6. I mean the one where Caliborn's like he draws his own Homestuck.
Yeah, I know.
That's
So
like
that's
yeah.
6. And then you have the retconned one.
Oh god, yeah, the post Vriska where she fixes everything. So that's 7.
Yeah. So there's at least 7,
There's at
probably
least 7
10.
Homestucks in Homestuck.
Yep.
So I was thinking, like, what if we just had like Homestuck 1 is the kids and only the kids, and then they complete the game, and then they open the door, and then we go to like high, like the scrub or whatever, and that's Homestuck 2, and it's just called like, and it's just the trolls.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
then we just have the
I So I do think, and then I think that one gets to the point where, oh, they're about to win, and then Beck Noir shows up,
yeah.
and then you have a little more.
I think it works if the
Um,
kids create the trolls universe, and then the trolls have, and but the inherent
yep,
problems
and
during the
then
kids session is what messes up theirs. That's what I would do.
uh-huh, yep. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right,
Okay.
I'm just gonna talk about whatever.
Okay.
All right, so Drew's gone. Uh, one of my favorite jokes. I'll talk about things in Homestuck I liked. So, in chapter 1, I thought it was really funny in the game bro where one of the notes on the game was just said Davis was so wasted. Haha, I mean damn. That made me laugh. Uh I thought, oh man, some of these I don't have context anymore. But whatever. I think it's pretty good. I like the Homestuck. I think I think it's tragic. I don't know if there's anyone attempted it. I still think there needs to be some attempts. I think that Unity stuff is wild, but I can't. I'm waiting for Nolan and Drew to talk about that. We'll get there later. Uh, Pathfinder's going pretty good. I'm finally getting. I built the ziggurat. I thought it was really funny how like your lich ziggurat is taller than the castle you're living in. Because like your necromancer pal, he's like, yo, you better build me a ziggurat, and you build one, and it's like the largest thing in the city. And he's like, this'll do. That's really good. Big fan of it. Um, I in the new Magic the Gathering set, Wilds of Eldraine, I'm kind of lukewarm on. I haven't really noticed it changed much of anything in standard, at least to me. I've been doing a lot of mono red. Mono red has been showing up a lot. Apparently, there's like a weird combo, reanimator combo, 5-color garbage. But that's kind of been it since like the Atraxa and the Itali reanimator stuff. So I'm not really like thrilled about it. I tried making a brawl deck with the adventure giant lady. It didn't quite work. But we'll see as time goes on. Usually I try not to. I tried fairies, didn't work, but the goal is you don't want to like go in onto arena until you kind of know what the meta's shaking down, so you know like what is a good card to craft and what's not a good card to craft. Personally, I think you can probably get away with the black control cards. Put in your Sheoldreds. That's fine. I think like Sheoldred the Apocalypse and Pals is just it's good to go. Um, I think I still think Homestuck all in. Oh, that's cool. Drew's helping Kelsey, which means he has troubleshooting duty. I've basically I still want to do some kind of Worlds of Warcraft. I gotta like send this to myself, this podcast. I'll put that link using my secret technology where I just send it to like my other Discord account. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll just activate that. Because now you're like, there you go. Now it's there. Because I'm a genius. Because yeah, I want to play WoW, but like I don't want to play WoW. I'd like to play an MMO of some kind. There's none that's really going. I gotta finish my plate, which is Pathfinder. I don't know what game I'll play after Pathfinder. Teamfight Tactics is coming up. Like that's my debate. Like I kind of want to make a push for either Challenger or like Diamond in TFT, because I've never done that. Like I'm feeling the need. Like I could do it. It's one of those things I feel the urge to do it, and it would be something I could do in the evenings while I'm not doing Pathfinder. Because Pathfinder takes forever. It's good though. But yeah, oh, what's my time? Apparently like 42 hours. So it's coming in on my Steam. It's like currently my 7th most played game. I really like Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I think Windalug's pretty cool. I like my crew. I don't like that they gave Reggie like the specialized into like gnomish hook hammers, because there's not that many. Like I find I'm not hitting like I've just been using auto level ups because I'm lazy on my party members, and for the most part it's working okay. It's just like I'm not hitting upgrades as often as I would like. I think it's because they put too many of like the weird martial upgrades in there. It's like you're getting a lot of like, hey, check it out. It's like nunchucks. If you wanted to be a nunchuck monk, we got like your cool nunchuck legendary weapon. And I'm like, I don't use this. All my characters use swords or bows and arrows. We need more swords and bows and arrows. I think it'd be better if there just wasn't so many exotic weapons. Like, you have a rapier, and then you have like a fencing sword and like a dueling sword. Like, I wasted a lot of money because I thought I bought a dueling sword for Camille, but she didn't use that because she specialized in rapiers. And I'm like, well, that's great. That's just great. Wasted all my gold. Still kind of bitter about that. Not bitter about how like my character has so many spells. I just pick whatever now. Like my build is like, it used to be like, all right, I need to pick specific ones. I'm like, nah, we're good. We just pick, you know what? We'll do like disintegration. It's fine. Disintegration's cool. You just blow it up. Turn the dust. Oh, did someone come back?
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, did it go well?
Mostly, she's dealing with Mac products, and
Yeah, I
I'm
have
not
no
a
idea how to.
Mac person, so.
Oh, I have no idea how those work.
Yep, my response is always, "This is why I don't have Macs."
Yep.
And then I conveniently point out that PCs do the same shit, but then I don't get to feel smug superiority.
There you go. Well, yeah, like Lappy has been updating for 3 hours.
Yep.
Lappy started updating at 10:30, and we are at 74% update.
Oh, wow.
So we going. It's happening. Anyway, I just talked a lot of bull crap about like Pathfinder because that's like the game I've been playing the most. I still like it. And all right, Homestuck. So are you gonna keep going? Or are you gonna bail? I don't know if I'm gonna finish.
Nope, my goal was and still is, I'm just gonna make it to the scratch. And then probably stop.
I want to get to where I stopped. Where I stopped was when Jane did the trickster Caucasian mode or whatever. I remember that was like the last thing, and I'm like, and we're done. This is just.
Now she says, I'm feeling peachy.
Yep. And I was like, this is done. We're done. I didn't even get to the Dancestors or whatever. I'm like, get out of here. Also, thanks for that podcast. I'm going to put that up. Because I needed some crap to listen to.
It's good.
I need to hear some bitter old men like myself read this thing from like 2009 that all the kids were into. So then we can do our new hit show in like 10 to 20 years. It'll be called like Skibbity Toilet Made This World. And it'll be me getting you and Nolan to watch Skibbity Toilet. There was a new episode today of Skibbity Toilet.
So, do you think there's going to be something for Homestuck's 13th anniversary?
No.
When was that?
I don't even know. 2009?
When did Homestuck...
It
Did
started in
Homestuck start in
'09.
2009?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would have been last year. So no.
No. No, it's dead. Like
Mm-hmm.
Homestuck died because the Homestuck 2 whatever the hell that was that started in like 2020 died in like 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, that thing's gone. We're not even gonna talk about like the epilogues and then the meat and candy and all that garbage. Good lord.
Yep.
Good lord. Get
Yep.
that out of here.
But Kevin, he worked on Namco High.
Yeah. Remember Namco High?
Nope.
I don't. Could like Heihachi Mishima go get prototyped because he died. So like Kazuya prototypes Heihachi into his current sprite, and then all the imps are like Mishima karate. Think,
Oh, I'd be sick.
yeah, think about it.
That'd be sick.
That'd be a really tough world to do. But then if you got at the end of it, the world you'd make would be really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Better than Liu Kang. I
Mm-hmm.
think that story, like I'm gonna still enjoy watching Wooly and Reggie play that story that's how I will consume that game.
Yep.
But like, it's so stupid. Like, I don't understand why Liu Kang is putting in like what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, like, do you have to have these? Like, why do you even have Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn?
exactly.
Like, I don't care if like Shang Tsung doesn't have magic, and apparently Shao Kahn you made into like a frail, diseased boy, who then still grew up to be super tough anyway.
Yeah, like what are you doing? What are you doing? Cause like, and also like it's just everything's so brutal. Like I
Mm,
like this isn't like Goku going to the world's martial arts championship where it's like with Master Roshi and stuff where it's they get fights and they're getting punched, but it's not like it's not like the one where like Piccolo or like Tien is there where it turns into bad martial arts. It's like we're doing some big punches.
it's like I don't know. I feel starting with the MK9, each of these was kind of I feel like each of the new games came with this expectation of like, oh man, they can finally start fresh and do something entirely new with Mortal Kombat, and then they just keep doing more of the same
Yeah, because they can't figure
every
it out.
time.
They get that. It was impressive that
Like,
Mortal Kombat 11 got to Mortal Kombat 4 with
uh-huh,
that was a game changer because usually it hits 3 and they say reboot.
yeah. But like MK1, they could have taken out the gore.
I think that would have been the time to do it. I know, even though the
Uh-huh.
gore sells it and people love it for some reason, I don't. I think it's stupid because you watch,
Man,
as
there,
Nolan
there was
said, you watch the Maximilian rate the fatality video and then you're done, and then you never see those moves ever again.
like, okay, for the most part, however people want to raise their kid, they are welcome to raise their kid. But I was in Target once when MK11 was like coming out, and I heard a mom, or whatever. It was around the Christmas season for MK11, whatever timeline that is, and she was talking about like she's buying it for her kid, and I showed her the like X-rays or whatever they're called in that, the finishing blow,
Yeah.
and she no longer was going to buy Mortal Kombat 11 for her child.
Well, good for you. And I think it's
Yeah, like,
like I remember like people didn't like Mortal Kombat because I got Mortal Kombat as a child. And look at me.
mm-hmm.
So maybe their people are right. But also
But
that
it's not
game,
the same
no,
thing.
it's not like punching a guy's head off and like bones and rib cage shooting out is way different than like the ripping off the skin as they scream as their skin's ripped off, and then you see
Yeah,
every organ like pulsating, and then you like punch it and then the eyeball falls out and then the eyeball looked at me.
yeah, like it's giving people making it PTSD.
That yeah. And also to me it like it feels weird because the tone does not want it to be ultra violence until like whenever you're doing like here's Kung Lao and Sub Zero, and they're kind of having their little fight, and then in the game,
Mm-hmm.
like Kung Lao like does a razor blade hat and then shoves Sub Zero's face into it face first like a
Yeah.
bandsaw, and then they're like, haha, I showed you my strength. It's like, no, that's not. We're not doing. There's no friendlies in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, there's really not. Like, I just, so I don't, they could have cut it. I think they would have gotten a lot of fan backlash, but people would have then moved on.
I think they should do it. They should cut it. And I'm not like opposed to violence and or gore. I don't think it doesn't add to me. It adds nothing and it detracts from the game.
Mm-hmm.
It
Like,
also
you're
it
still gonna have your tournament scene of players who just like those games and are gonna keep playing them.
yeah.
And then you're gonna have the single player people who are like, it still has a robust single player thing. The amount of people who are gonna complain about Mortal Kombat going woke is
But
a small portion of a fan base.
I'm even gonna go to the point of if you liked violence, if you could have it in there but be rarer, and then it actually
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. Nolan's on uncle duty, but that
Mm.
all right. But what I would say is like, is it more shocking when everyone's like doing gore, or would it be more shocking as if okay, here's the Mortal Kombat tournament and Shao Kahn is there, and then when he finishes his match, he just kills the guy, like he just explodes
Yeah,
them, and everyone goes, oh god. We thought this was
like,
just gonna be like a zany, like okay, like friendly ceremonial thing, and he's going in on it.
mm-hmm.
Like escalation has occurred, but then Liu Kang can't stop it because the tournament forbids his whatever. Like that, that would be cool. Where to steal from the hit grotesque anime grappler Baki, like that was one of their arcs where the criminals showed up and they just were gonna kill him. And all the karate men are now like, well, now we have to fight to the death. And karate changes a bit when like the guys, it's not knockout to end the battle. It's no, he's gonna go till you die.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be like that's how I would do Mortal Kombat. As to me, this is so I'm not because I was just thinking about as we were talking. I would directly remove the gore, but this is my way to like off ramp us off of the gore. So we're gonna
Yeah.
like so like not everyone's gonna have a fatality. The evil characters are, and some of them are, but like the good guys are not gonna be like ripping off people's faces and then like exploding them because they're
I
the good
mean,
guys.
yeah, it just makes no sense.
Because then you get like the climactic moment of like Raiden beats the guy, but then he's gonna keep coming. So then does Raiden fatality him?
Mm-hmm.
That's a story beat. It's a dumb story beat, but it's a story beat nonetheless. You can see him, he's thinking about it, and then the lightning turns a little red as he's like the evil karate starting to show. There you go. That'd be good. I'd be down with that.
Good job. You gave Raiden the Satsui no Hado.
Yeah. I take from good fighting games, I put it in Mortal Kombat. Like the Devil Gene. Put that in. Make the Tarkatans, make the Barakas the Devil Gene.
Mm-hmm.
Where they activate.
Listen, make Sindel Hihachi.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm going with you on this. Oh, and then Shao Kahn is what's his wife's
Kuma.
I was gonna say Kasumi. If you want to mix things up, where Sindel, the queen, is actually like the evil dictator queen, and then like
Mm-hmm.
Shao Kahn is actually this like nice, calm man. Because Liu Kang over. See, that's what I wanted is Liu Kang to over. See, that would make more sense instead of Liu Kang just like here's Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn. Is that if he overcorrects and makes all the evil people good, then all the good people are evil. Because
Yeah, like I think it'd be very funny if Shao Kahn looked at Earthworld and saw it as a world of barbarians that needed to be like preemptively dealt with to protect Aldania.
yeah, because like humans have guns and crap. Because remember that scene? It was in one of the Mortal Kombats where like Kano was giving the Barakas guns and they were just shooting each other. And that's not like guns inherently are like very empathetical to like the Mortal Kombat deal of like martial arts supremacy or whatever.
Yep.
Where you're like, no, the strong guy should be the dude with the best karate and magic like key, not just
And then
because he had
Stryker
a
just shoots a guy.
yeah. It's like that sucks. He trained that monk trained for like 20 that Goro trained for 20 years and fought all the other Goros and became the strongest Goro and then he got hit with a missile launcher.
And then then his kneecaps got shot out from under him.
He's like, "Oh!" And you're like, "No." Like I can imagine Shao Kahn being really upset about that. Like that's
Uh-huh.
like no, I don't cuz that's like that would to me that's like oh see, we should write Mortal Kombat because that's like an existential crisis of you of him going like, did I waste my life? I perfected my kung fu, I perfected my dragon style, and then like an idiot with a gun is just killing like all of these people.
Yeah, and it's like it's now he has to grapple with power being crap, I just had the word in my brain and now it's gone.
It's
But like
okay.
power being like curd and reined in by your honor and your pride, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, you can't just have a gun and now you can shoot anybody. You don't understand the power you have.
They don't
You have to
understand
earn
it.
that kung fu. You gotta earn that kung fu and know what power means.
Even if I'm a bad dude, I put in the
Bridled.
hours.
Bridled.
I put in so many hours to become this bad dude you don't even know. I
But
spent
now I have a respect for what my body can do.
I spent 30 years meditate. I did that Netero crap where he sat there and he prayed. And it took a long time. But when he came down, he could punch really good.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is, he still had to meditate for all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He still had to be good enough to understand he needed to give thanks for that long.
Yep. I was going to talk about the Unity stuff, but I want Nolan to be here to talk about the Unity stuff. Of how, like,
Mm-hmm.
Unity is killing itself before our
Yep.
eyes. Also, some fun facts on that. Did you see that the guy sold all of his stocks like the week before the announcement?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Totally cool move. Not insider trading at all. So what do you think this is? Like, we'll just do the brief thing because I kind of want to just we're wrapping down. Why do you think they did it? Because I have a theory. Other than just money, we want more money.
So I will say, I will give my answer in with an anecdote.
All right, go.
Suda 51 named one of the bad guys, or the big bad guy, in Travis Strikes Back after the head of Unity,
Yep.
and then proceeded to like main like push and champion Unreal.
Yeah.
So I think that's all you need to know about Unity.
I forget his name. I'll remember it later. But remember, like one of his famous quotes when he was because he was like he formerly was EA, and one of his things was like he was trying to push an idea of you're playing Battlefield for 3 hours or something, and then at hour 3 in a firefight your gun runs out of ammo. Well, how about now we start charging you to reload your gun because you're already in for so long. You're gonna hit that button.
Yep.
And what I really think it was like a tweet, and it said like, because the language was the per install, and then someone put a tweet that was like, because a lot of like it's gonna hurt. It would hurt a lot of indie devs But to me, it's like the big things on mobile that are not Fortnite, like Genshin Impact and Pokemon Go, all of those are on Unity. So what I'm seeing
Mm-hmm.
is it's like, oh, they want that mobile game, that the big mobile game money that they feel
Yeah.
they're owed. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's like
They want the free to play games.
they want like Among Us and like Pokemon Go because that's when people install it. Also, like all digital card games are like in Unity. It's like Magic and Hearthstone are both a Unity client. I don't know if Marvel Snap is in Unity. I will have to look really quick because if it's in Unity, that would make a lot of sense too.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Where is it
Yeah,
made?
it's just a move of total greed.
Marvel Snap is in Unity. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like
it's
it's
just
just
it's every free to play. That's why it's the install. They want like the free to play people. They're like, no, we want your money.
yep.
We want that money because we're not making it on the install. They're making it on like the back end, and they're like,
Uh-huh.
no, we want it, we want it. But other than that, thanks for giving me the link to that Homestuck podcast. I will be listening
Yep.
to it.
Yep, that's the good stuff, man. That's the
Yo, I like it when people are analyzing things, and then I also like it as like as time goes on. I know their opinions will equal mine,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes changes. Like there's some of the
So
like
one of them read it when it was current and coming out, and the other one is now just coming to it for the first time.
yeah, and there's some stuff like
It's a very nice wabi sabi.
yeah. It's like I was reading like the shrieking shit. I still like I'm listening to it. I haven't not as much where they were going through the Harry Potters and talking about like revisiting it post JK and stuff, and you're like, this is
Mm-hmm.
fascinating. But
Yeah.
it's I like that kind of thing where it's like we're gonna look at this because we were all into people were into this and why and why it's no longer there. But I don't got anything else. Do you got
Yeah,
anything else to say?
I think that's it.
The Homestuck will continue until we hit the point we're done.
The Homestuck will continue until it doesn't.
Oh, and you'll know when it doesn't, because we'll talk about
Mm-hmm.
it. We will hit a point and be like, and I'm out.
Yep.
Anyway, later days. Bye.
Later days.